So yesterday during the Michael Cohen hearing, Mark Meadows had brought in someone to sit with him. Now this person is Lynn Patton. Now Lynn Patton is a longtime Trump associate and current housing and urban development official. Now she is also black. Now during that hearing, he referred to her while going after Cohen and his assertion that President Trump is a racist. I mean, oh, look, you see this woman, Lynn Meadows, right? Donald Trump hired Lynn Meadows. There's no way he could be a racist because he's got black people working for him. He's got black friends, right? Now, again, Rashida Tlaib of Michigan, she is one of the newest members of the House of Progressive. She pushed back and said, you know, just because someone has a person of color, a black person working for them, does not mean that they aren't racist. And added that basically the use of Patton as a prop is racism in itself. Now, Meadows, of course, did not like that. And he said, we need to get that stricken from the record. That how dare you call me a racist? You know what's racist? You calling me a racist. Ridiculous, right? Now, he said, there's nothing more personal to me than my relationship. My nieces and my nephews are people of color. Not many people know that. Why does that even matter? He also denied bringing her to the hearing as a human prop and said, quote, it's racist to suggest that I asked her to come in here for that reason. Okay, so now I love this, right? How dare you? It is racist to suggest that I am racist, that this is a problem. And by the way, this must be stricken for the record. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. This isn't the 1800s, dude. There is video. That video exists, right? Whether you strike it from the record or not. Now, as far as Patton is concerned, well, Patton's, of course, a Trump supporter. So she went after Tlaib in a statement. She said, hey, I have a list of accomplishments. I am not a prop. In fact, this is not the resume of a prop. Oh, look, hey, look, I hear you, right? But the thing is, you don't realize what's going on. They don't care about your accomplishments, right? I mean, why bring someone into the Michael Cohen hearing who works for HUD? This has nothing to do with housing. This has nothing to do with real estate. It has nothing to do with your area of expertise. Does it? Unless you're, I guess, maybe previously a lawyer. I don't know. What are her accomplishments and qualifications? What do they have to do with bringing her into that hearing? Now, there is only one reason Mark Meadows brought her there, and it's painfully obvious, especially when they knew ahead of time that Cohen is going to call Trump a racist and sexist. Mark Meadows, come on. You're thinking, oh yeah, he's going to say that at the hearing? Well, here, I'm going to bring in somebody to use as a shield to prevent Trump from being hit as a racist and sexist. I'm going to bring in a black woman. Okay. Thing is, she's a prop and she doesn't even know it. I mean, she couldn't even speak for herself at the hearing. I mean, seriously. The thing is, you can't just hide behind a person of color. You're using it as a shield to defend your own racism. And let's be clear, Mark Meadows is a racist. And I don't know if you know this, but you can be a racist even if you have black friends and family. And so, look, there's a clear example, right? And this is how he referred to the nation's first black president. See, when this was, after this had happened, Twitter users, social media users, have begun to dig up old videos of Mark Meadows talking about the first black president, and he didn't really have nice things to say. I'm going to show you that video, and then we'll get to more Twitter reaction. Let's watch.
From a grassroots standpoint, we won't have to worry about it. You know what? We'll send him back home to Kenya or wherever it is. We'll send him back home.
You know, it's interesting
the more we find out, the more we realize how wrong the direction we're going. And so what we're going to do is take back our country. 2012 is the time that we're going to send Mr. Obama home to Kenya or wherever it is. We're going to do it.
And he has said that multiple times. Those are just two examples. We're going to send him back to Kenya or wherever. Why is it Kenya? That's the first thing. That's weird. That is weird and super racist. I mean, can you think of one reason other than the color of President Obama's skin that they would think, Kenya, send it back to Africa? Really? Now look, here's the thing. So what this is that this is birtherism, right? So birtherism is a racist conspiracy that Obama, the first black president of the United States, is not an American. It's been spread and is believed by people like Mark Meadows. Now, you know who else believes it? The president of the United States, Donald Trump, who before, during, and way before even the election back in 2012, 2013, was on Fox News talking about, oh, I'm going to get people in Hawaii. I'm going to find the birth certificate. I'm going to find his real birth certificate, the one that proves he's from Kenya. So Mark Meadows and Trump and a lot of the rest of these birther Republicans believe in this same insane conspiracy theory. So they were allowed to get on TV and would spew this racist garbage. Now, of course, social media chimed in here, and I want to read some tweets. We'll start with Michael Moore. Michael Moore says, yeah, Mr. Meadows, you're an effing racist. Get it all out of your system, bro, because a country like ours, which is nearly 70% female, people of color, and or young adults, is taking power. And the day of the angry racist white man is soon to be a thing of the past. That's strong. Steve Morris says, here's Mark Meadows, who just sidetracked the entire House Oversight Committee to assure him that he's not racist, saying that 2012 is the time we are going to send Mr. Obama home to Kenya or wherever it is. Kasim Rashid says, Meadows was in tears at the mere idea that someone called him a racist, but people of color are supposed to smile in the face of institutionalized racism that discriminates against us, especially against Black and Latino Americans, in the education system, the workforce, in healthcare, and criminal justice system. In related news, he added, I wonder how Representative Meadows rationalizes his I'm not racist stance with his questioning of the legitimacy of America's first black president because he was born in Kenya or wherever he's from stance. Now, there's a lot of people getting into politics that never saw this before. A lot of younger people who, weren't quite of age or weren't quite paying attention back in 2012 when this was happening. I remember because back in 2012, I was actually in, starting to get close to covering politics, but definitely paying attention, right? And I believe I've talked about this before. And so I guess it may be a surprise to some of the people who didn't know this already, but here it is. And that's what social media is really good at, is finding things that maybe some people don't want to find and saying, oh, you want proof that you're not racist? Well, here's proof that you are. Enjoy. I love it. Now, there's more. David Beard says, wow, it's almost as if Mark Meadows didn't spend 2012 repeatedly saying he wanted to send America's last popularly elected president back to Kenya. Shawn King makes a very important point. He says, listen to me, you can be fully racist and hire a black person, have black grandchildren, have a black friend. Never call black people N-words out loud. Like black art and culture. Root for black athletes. Get really mad when you're called a racist. So, now here's the thing. Now, what he's talking about is implicit bias. So, that bias is something that I think a lot of us have, and we don't even realize that we have. It's the kind of thing that makes you feel a little nervous when you get into an elevator with a black man, right? Or, worry about what's going to happen with your wallet when you're in the same space as black people, when you view them with suspicion, or even more overtly, when you call the cops on somebody who is black for doing regular things, or maybe not even that pronounced, right? When you see black names in a job application and you reject that because, oh, I don't know about that guy. There's something about him that doesn't seem very trustworthy. On and on. That's the stuff that we're talking about. So yes, you can be a racist person. And that's not necessarily the worst thing if you realize it and correct it. And so that's the thing that we're trying to talk about, right? And that's the thing that's important about this tweet is, look, you can be racist and not even know it. But once you realize that and sort of change that mindset and realize, oh, these are the things that I'm doing, these are the stereotypes that I'm believing, and maybe I should change my thought on that and be a little bit more sensitive and realize that, hey, some of the things that I've been doing and saying are not good, and maybe I should change that. Well, then that's progress, right? So Mark Meadows, of course, is not someone who believes in that kind of progress. And again, I don't think he's overtly, horribly racist, but just the fact that he tried using that woman as a prop to try to deflect from the charges of racism when it comes to President Trump, and had used the old racist birther rhetoric back in the past referring to Obama. He knows. He knows. Anyway, there's more. Brian Behar says, Mark Meadows 2012, send Obama home to Kenya or wherever he's from. Mark Meadows 2019, how dare you call me racist? I'm going to hold my breath and grandstand disingenuously until you apologize. Ahmed Shabab Eldin says, Mark Meadows racist? But he just reluctantly admitted he has black nieces and nephews. So, look, I love that. Social media going after this guy. Because, look, we're going to hold you accountable, right? For some of the terrible stances that you have. So, spare me your crocodile tears, Mark Meadows. You know exactly who you are. You know exactly where you stand. And you know exactly what you are and what you've said. And you're not going to get away with it. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.